Okay, in this video, we're going to talk about where does talent come from? And I read a really awesome book not too long ago called The Talent Code, written by Daniel Coyle. And in the book, he ventured all over the world to look for, basically talent hotspots, places around the globe that were known to create an inordinate amount of highly skilled or highly talented people, whether it's in music or sport or some other discipline or industry. There's little spots around the world that, for whatever reason, create amazingly talented individuals, way more than any one little space, random place on the planet probably should. So we wanted to figure out what's this coming from. And of course, a lot of people look at, the nature versus nurture. Some people are just born gifted genetically to maybe be an athlete or maybe even be a physicist. But what his research showed is that very specific types of practice were probably the biggest determinant on creating a highly skilled or highly talented person. And he discovered that what's called conscientious practice, I believe is what it's called, is the best at creating the neural networks and creating the neural pathways to build talent. And it's much different than what a lot of people may think is practice. Like, say, if you want to get better at playing basketball, maybe you just go shoot around kind of mindlessly, but you're not paying too much attention to your form or anything. That probably isn't actually going to make you that much better of a basketball player. You really have to practice and focus and analyze your form and check it and correct it where you see errors. And that goes for playing the violin, the piano, basically anything. There's also other things that are external, like a person has to have a role model. So if you want to be a NASA scientist, you probably have to have a role model, somebody to look up to that say, oh, they're kind of like me, they became a NASA scientist, maybe I have a chance too. And that's really just all about having confidence in yourself. But sometimes we have to see somebody else that reminds us of who we are, maybe where we came from, before we believe in ourselves that we can accomplish that. So having a role model is key. And for a lot of people, that role model may be their parents. So, a lot of physicians are children of doctor parents because they grow up and they see their parents being doctors and talking about medical stuff, and they're like, well, that's what I want to be. But if you don't have a parent that maybe you can follow in their footsteps, or they're doing something other than you want to, that's cool. Just, it does help to have somebody, whether it's a mentor or somebody that you can look at and say, that's kind of where I want to be. And then go about getting the practice and acquiring the time it takes, and acquiring the skills. And I think in this book he did also mention, a lot of people know about this 10,000 hour rule, and this one gets tossed around a lot. If you want to be a master at something, you have to put in 10,000 hours, but he actually debunked that. And apparently it's actually been a misreading of where that research came from. It's not just about putting 10,000 mindless hours of anything. Like, if you want to play the piano and you're just bashing on the keys for 10,000 hours, you're not going to be a master, obviously. It's, again, all about deliberate practice. I think I say conscientious practice. It's about deliberate practice where you're going to make errors, pay attention to the errors, correct them on the fly, and over time, your brain will start to rewire itself, and those errors will start to disappear, and you become more natural and fluid at whatever you're trying to get better at it. So, again, the book is called The Talent Code. Definitely recommend it. He also has a companion book. It's like a little smaller book that only has, I think, 52 habits or something that he found a lot of the great talented people do. And one of my favorite habits, which is also one of the author's favorite habits, is napping. He said a lot of people, great people, whether they're great thinkers or athletes or whatever, they all had naps. Napping was a part of their day. So I was like, cool, I can get behind that. But that's it for this video. I'll see you in the next one.